9 properties.
9?
9. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Because we just sold one of the properties to pay off our home loan.
So 9 properties today. It's pretty good. So home and 8 investments?
Yeah.
Yes.
So three in our self-managed super fund.
Yep.
And the others are in our private name.
Yeah.
So 5 in your name,
Yep.
plus home 6. And, and
6.
3 in super.
Yep.
Wow.
About today's dollars in inflationary dollars. You earned 16 cents back then carrying your fucking fossil.
Money isn't the root of all evil, the fucking lack of it is.
Not money, the lack of understanding money.
When I put that into emphasis, when I realised that psychological effect and how it hit our family, I FTB all the fucking way.
You are now watching the Money Mentor podcast
With Graeme Holm.
Graeme Holm.
You're fucking gone. See ya.
Welcome back to the Money Mentor, and we're continuing on the Changing Lives financial series right now. Welcome back, and today 2 very special guests, Kaz and Chris. Hello, how are we?
Hello.
Hey,
Good,
G,
thank
how you
you.
going?
Oh, I'm fucking so good it hurts. I'm on my 65th energy drink, but I'm so good it hurts. Now, I'm going to rip straight in because you guys are a lovely, cool, salt-to-the-earth couple. You've crushed 75 hard. You're crushing it financially, but I want to get real deep real quick. I want to know, like, where you're from. When was the first date? Was it romantic? Did he pay the bill? I want to get real cute and cuddly for a minute because you guys are pretty cute. You've been together for a while. So let's go. Who is Chris and Kaz?
We're from Singleton, the Hunter Valley. We got together when we were 16.
That's funny that you asked how we got together in the
yeah.
romance. Chris
You
did
can
ask
You
me.
can tell a story.
I did ask Chris the permission as to what part of the story I can and
Oh,
can't
this
tell.
is going to be great. I don't even know.
It's probably not podcast.
Oh.
It's only going to embarrass me, but
Okay.
all our friends know, and if they ever listen to this, they'll know it's real.
Okay.
So we met at martial arts when we were 16,
Okay.
and I had the biggest crush on Chris.
Lucky
And
girl.
one of the exercises that we were doing at the time is we were doing our core strength, and so he had to walk around the room and we had to lay there and we had to tense our stomach really hard, and he had to go along and step on our stomach and make sure that we were strengthening it in case we got punched in the belly
Right.
and stuff. Yeah, so I wanted to impress, so I'm like really squeezing my stomach, and he walked along me and I farted. So you wanted to know the real, and as I said, it's probably not podcast worthy, but that's the truth, and you want it to be real.
That's the best.
So
you weren't actually meant to squeeze until he come and stepped
Oh
on
no,
you.
I was.
Wow.
Yeah,
Were you mortified?
Oh, absolutely. I didn't go back to martial arts for about 2 weeks afterwards, and
Everyone thought it was funny though.
everybody thought it was funny. I went home, and my mum knew how much I had a crush on him, and I went home upset, and she's like, "What's happened?" And I told her, and she's like, "Oh, she just thought it was hilarious." But
Everyone thinks farts are
I know
funny.
I was absolutely horrified. And about 2 weeks later, the phone rang, and it was Chris. And I thought, oh crap, like what's he ringing for? And he rang up, and I think his words, 5 minutes into the conversation was, "So what's the go? You keen or what?" And Mum
Yeah,
said,
real romantic.
"Keen? What's he bloody keen? I'll give him bloody keen."
Ah, so
yeah,
it
so
flipped
Mum,
all
yeah,
of a
so it all
sudden.
flipped. But anyway, so I went back to martial arts, and after that it was a bit awkward. I'm like, are we dating or we're not? But yeah, that's our
At least the
romantic.
first fart was out of the way,
It
right?
was, that's it. So that was our story of how we met and got together. And
I love it.
Yeah.
So met at 16?
16, it was, well, we were both 16. It was a week before Chris's 17th birthday because he's never also let me forget that I never bought him a 17th birthday present.
Right.
But it was one of them things, like we just started dating. I'm like, what do you buy a 16-year-old that you're madly in love
Yeah.
with? So I never bought him a birthday present.
You
yeah.
probably got a pash, mate. I mean, come on, you're 16, 17. Take what you can get. You keen or what? Oh, that's
I
the
know,
best.
Mum still says it. So.
Oh dear. Okay. So high school sweethearts, really. And okay, so Singleton.
Yep.
What do we do for work?
Both work in the mines.
Yep.
Originally I was a chippy.
Yep.
And then got into mining.
So at that age, when we were 16, Chris was an apprentice carpenter.
Yep.
I
as
worked,
Oscar.
Yeah.
same as Oscar. So I was working behind a bar at the RSL club for years, and also had a job as a secretary in a real estate, an accounting firm. We kind of always held down 2 jobs. So we lived in Kempsey before
Yep.
we were from the Hunter Valley, which is where we did all that work, and where we bought our first property when we were 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first home at 21, worked multiple jobs, worked your clackers off. Jump forward to when you found Infinity and why you were looking, or were you looking?
Oh, yeah. So what happened was we've been working in the mines for a bit. And we'd bought a few properties and worked our butts off trying to renovate them, and did some really hard yards of building our own house and stuff. And in about 5 years' time, I've been told, or it is BHP, who I work for, is closing down. So
Right.
I will be
That particular site.
that particular site will be closing down. So I'll obviously be made redundant. And I was starting to get really worried. Like, you know, by the time that happens, I'll be 47. I've got no other real besides working in the mines from, I think I was about 26 when I first started in the mines.
Yeah, around about then.
I don't have any really background skills.
Right.
And because we'd worked so hard, I was really scared that we were going to get to the end.
So you went into freak out mode.
I did. And I still am, like, you know, a little bit worried about the future in the sense that we've always worked and always been workers. We're earning good money now, but we never used to. I used to work double the jobs, but kind of freaking out, like, how can we afford to keep going further if I don't have a job? Like, what am I going to do?
Okay.
So we kind of started talking about what we're going to do from now, and I said to Chris, well, we've got to do something to set ourselves up. I want to be set up so that when I do get made redundant in a few years'
That's
time...
just a win, got some money.
That's it. That we're set up so that, you know, we don't lose everything that we worked really, really... I don't want to get to the end of our life and then kind of go, oh, we had all this and now we've got nothing because we can't afford it. So we went and saw a financial advisor in Singleton and we kind of had a chat to him to try and push us to, you know, where to from here.
Give us a bit of direction. But he sort of...
Yeah,
Well, we left there and we're like...
Well, that's not what we wanted. He
just said we're doing really good. No, keep doing what you're doing.
You're doing really good.
Wanted...
So you're probably doing better than him.
Well,
I don't. I was hoping he'd kind of push us to say. I kind of thought, you know, maybe we can sell one house off, pay off the place that we're living in, and go a little bit, you know, start building a new house again. I kind of had that thought there was more out there. And when he said, "Oh no, keep doing what you're doing, just pay them houses off and live off the rents. Your retirement looks good." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But I walked out of there because if Chris and I have got goals, and we've got a reason to wake up every day, we've got drive, then we're pretty good. We do.
Right?
We do chase it, and we're pretty motivated with each other to do it.
We usually set a goal and we'll achieve it.
Yeah.
If we set a goal,
if we say that's what we're going to do, we've got direction and we do it. So when we walked out of there and he goes, "No, that's it," you said, "Just keep doing what you're doing." I kind of went home and went, "That's not really helpful. Like, it's not doing what I thought we could be doing." So I just started doing some Googling as to my thoughts of what we could do, and then Infinity started popping up in our group chat. Oh, sorry, in my Facebook feed. And then I started watching some of the podcasts, and it was funny, like some of the things that you're saying, that you're a single mum and that you grew up in commission housing and that you were from Port Macquarie. I'm like, oh, I grew up with a single mum, 5 kids. I grew up in commission housing. I lived in Kempsey. That's near Port Macquarie. I'm like, this guy's...
Beck's Port on Wollongong.
Yeah, so I was kind of a little bit like, oh, everything this guy's saying kind of resonates with me. And just the way
it's a bit relative.
Yeah, and just the way that you...
Trust me, when we drive back to Port Macquarie every second week or so, and now you got the Kempsey bypass, right? And we hit that big, the bridge up there where you used to get off at the pie shop, Freddo's. But we hit that bridge, we're driving along, and it's always barren or flooded. And it's usually barren and dry. And all of a sudden, this petite, beautiful little girl, I'll be driving typically there by then, and it's always fucking dry. And I always lose my shit because I'm like, you can take the girl out of Port, but you can't take the Port. Yeah. As soon as we hit Kempsey, she looks out, she just all of a sudden, fucking dry. Love it a bit. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
so that's kind of how we came to stumble upon you. And as I said, when we started listening to the podcast, I said to Chris, oh my God, like, you got to listen to this guy. It's everything that he's kind of saying is...
It's not that. I mean, look, it's hard, but it's not that hard, right?
Yeah,
like, if you've got the right team.
Yeah, that's right. What you were saying, I could relate to it. I'm like, yes, that all makes sense. This is what I'm talking about. I wanted somebody to tell us, if you do this, then you can do this and you can do this. But I think we just needed that person to go, yeah, guys, you can do it. Yeah, and that's what we're looking from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
And he was straight to the point.
Yeah.
Cut out all the bullshit. Like,
yeah, a bit blunt.
But we like blunt.
Probably need a polish.
No, that resonated with us.
It did. We like blunt. We like, being told.
So when was that?
12 months ago, May last year.
May last year, okay.
Would have been a little bit before. Probably, not much. Probably
May,
March, April.
Yeah, we watched a free webinar then, and then we signed up in May.
Okay.
Yeah, did the masterclass in
And
in
so
May.
that it was mostly stimulated by the fuck, like if the mine shuts and the world ends tomorrow and we've got to get new jobs, they might not pay like that. All this sort of, so
I just didn't want to get to the end of our working life knowing what we had done in the past to buy all the properties that we'd done, to renovate them like we'd done, to you know, we were working 12.5 hours.
So were you doing the buy, reno, flip?
No, we never flipped them. We always held them.
Buy, shitter, reno, hold.
Hold. So
and rented them out cheap.
Going back a little bit too, like I first bought my property at 21 and we lived in it, renovated it, did all that, and then 12 months later you bought one in her name, and we did that for tax reasons. And also first home buyers grant.
We were young too, so we didn't really we were only young, and we had been together a little for a while, but we were like, you know, you buy one house and then I'll save a deposit. And Chris actually we had the opportunity to go to America, and the opportunity was for us both to go, and I said, well, no, you go and I'll save this money that I've got and I'll buy a house. And by the time he got back, we bought a second house.
So you went and worked in America?
No, sorry, he just went over for a wedding and a holiday.
Actually.
Yeah, so he went over for a holiday.
But then once we done that, like you bought that place, and then it was another 12 months later, we're like, we can do this, and we ended up buying a place for your mum, and we rented that out to her for 17 years or something like that.
Yeah, so mum, as I said, has always been a bit of a battler and on her own, and she was renting a property, and the situation came up that she needed somewhere else to live, and we just said, look, Mum, we can take some equity out of the two houses that we've got. Would you like to go halves in a house? Like, let's help you out, and you can go halves with us, because we didn't think we could do it on our own, but we could help her. Yeah. And, you know, being a little bit of a battler, it was a bit above what she was comfortable doing, and she's like, no, I'm not interested. No, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested. And we're like, okay. But she still needed somewhere to go, and she'd worked so hard all her life that we're like, well, you know what? Let's just buy a house. She's going to be an amazing tenant. Yeah. And we put her in there, and she's been in that, was in that house up until 2 years ago. For 17 years she lived there. Okay. So
we got that, and then we decided, it was 2007, we moved to the Hunter Valley. I was there for 12 months by myself and just travelled. Yeah. And we decided to move down in 2008, and then from there we rent vested, I suppose you could say, because we still had 3 properties. We just rented all them out.
We just wanted to make sure that his job was going to work out before we packed up and moved down there completely.
So we rented down in the Hunter Valley in Singleton for 2 years. And then
the opportunity.
In between that, though, we bought another investment, and that was through...
that was through an investment. Because, again, we had a bit of... we've kind of always chased a plan. So we had these guys that do, you know, they were probably found them on the internet too, where they reach out going, oh, you know, you pay high taxes, and an investment ad kind of
so
probably
like
came
a negative
up.
gearing, gets some of your tax back on a property.
Yeah, so we built a house through those guys, and to be honest with you, it worked out amazing, and it's been a really good investment. And had they have done what you guys did and kept coming back to us, or kept us on as clients, we would have kept going again.
They did, though. At some stage, they did try and get us to buy more properties, but we're like, we just weren't ready at that stage. So we just left it. But then we were at that period where we had the 4 properties and we wanted our own place. Yep. So then that's when we ended up buying where we're at today. And we lived in the shed, and then we...
That's right.
Yeah, 7 years in the shed, no power,
Chris
no flushable toilet.
Chris always wanted land. Yeah. He's like, he always wanted to go and buy a property, and I'd never lived out of town. But anyway, we found this 100 acres, and we fell in love with it as soon as we drove up there, and there was a shed on it. So the great idea was that we'd live in the shed while he built the house.
Built.
So we lived in the shed for 7 years, and then he turned around and I think we were 30, and he said, let's have a baby. I'm like, I'm not having a baby while we're living in a shed. Like, you need to start building that house. And he goes, okay, well, we'll have a baby and we'll start building the house. So we had a few hurdles when we went to do that, because obviously being owner builders, the banks don't like to lend money. So we couldn't get a loan.
I'll just go back a step too. Even before we bought the property,
we had an issue buying the land.
100 acres.
100
banks don't wanna
acres.
touch it.
The banks wanted 30% deposit.
Yeah.
We didn't have 30%. We had 20.
Yeah, but it had no power, no water. So as soon as
that
it's
was
got no
enough, yeah.
Very
services on
unique
it,
property.
yeah.
Yep.
And I
High
remember
risk. If you
Yeah.
default,
100%.
could take years for someone else to
Yeah.
come and fall in
Yep.
love
Yeah.
with it. So it's very high risk for the bank.
Well, I remember when we went back to the bank that had all our loans for our rental properties, and we thought straight away they'd give us the money because we had all this equity in that, and still they wouldn't touch us. And we ended up going to a broker, and
He was great.
he was really good. But as soon as we told him the property address, he goes, "Oh, do you know how many people have been trying to buy that property? I can't help you." And we said, "But we've got 4 properties. Like we've got this." And anyway, he moved some figures around, and he was great, and he did end up helping
he
us in the
was.
end.
He's not as good as our broker now, but
Hey, but he was good. That's all that matters.
He was all right.
He was good. He got it figured out.
Yeah, so we ended up buying the land, and we lived in the shed with no power and no water. And we sat down every night and we drew up the plans for the hell. Chris drew
I
the plans
drafted
for
all
the plans up by
myself,
hand.
So, and then had to do that process and submit it to council. But even before we got to that hurdle, the property had a Crown Road running right through the middle of it.
That's
Right.
right.
And right where we wanted to build, this Crown Road ran right through the middle. So it was a rigmarole. It took like nearly 2 years.
Yeah, we had to
probably
close the road,
you
buy
know,
the land.
Yeah,
You had to buy it back.
Yeah, and
And
then
are they still planning to put a road through
No,
there?
no.
Oh, you couldn't
It's an
put it-
old paper trail.
that's an old paper trail. It wasn't even a road there.
So we bought it off,
Department of Lands.
Crown Roads.
But we
and-
had to close the road that wasn't even a road. We had to close it, get permission off all the neighbours to close it.
The road that didn't exist.
That didn't exist, and then we had to buy it. So we had to pay them. I think it might have been about $15,000.
13 grand.
We had to buy
Couple
give them
acres.
to buy the road.
That didn't
And-
exist. I love
yeah.
this. This is great.
Yeah.
And then we had to have a surveyor who thankfully was our neighbour. He had to survey the properties and consolidate them to make them into one property so that we weren't building across 2 titles with 2.
Because
yeah.
it was a
That side of the
Yeah.
road up the middle.
Yeah, so that's our place where we live now. But again, going back, the banks wouldn't give us any money because we were owner builders. So we had to work during the day for 12 and a half hours and then go home, and then overnight time we'd be building. Or
How many years did it
Yeah.
take to finish it?
how long did we work at? 4 years.
2015 we started. By the time it was submitted and
Approved.
DA approved, and I think we moved in 2019.
Just
Yeah, so it's
before
about 4 years.
Yeah.
Just before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then we had probably another 12 months or more. We had all the verandas to do, and we had a what do you call it? Interim occupancy
Yep.
certificate, so we could move in, but there was obviously a proviso, and we had to get all the other stuff done.
Yeah.
So I think
Which we did.
we actually refinanced the loan, the land loan. We actually refinanced
Yeah.
to
We
take
had
out. We borrowed another $100,000 on top of what we paid for the land.
Yeah.
And we did the verandas and everything, put an air conditioner in so we could get it completely finished and,
Yeah.
and signed off. So whilst we didn't have to borrow the money for the whole house, which we're very grateful for
Yeah.
today because we did the hard work then, we still did have a loan for the land.
Okay. Okay. So you finally built the house, got a couple of investment properties as well.
Yeah.
Then what?
Well, we went through a period there where we didn't really do much at all investing wise or anything. We were just sort of living and
Having kids,
yes,
working.
Didn't do too much.
life
You
in
might not have been
general.
doing too much. I was dealing with the kids.
Yeah, true.
No, we're very lucky in the sense we had the kids while we were building.
Okay.
So we lived in the shed, and Phoebe was I think 3, and she still lived in a cot because we couldn't fit 2 cots in
Right.
the bed. So she was in a cot, and our son was in a porta cot in this tiny little room while we built. And we used to have a baby monitor over in the shed, and we'd run over night time and tile until
Do a
midnight.
tile and
Right.
paint.
And then we were like, right, got to go home, got to go to bed in a couple of
Right.
hours. So we were kind of, it was a lot of hard work to build that and do that. But yes, you're right. After we built the house, and we kind of got comfortable again. And as I said, that's when
Yeah, you got the big, new, beautiful home,
did.
right?
Yeah.
So
We
you're
did.
comfortable for a while. And you've
We
done
did.
hard, 15, 20-hour days
Yeah.
for
We sort of
ages.
wanted a
We did.
break.
Yeah.
we kind of did want a break.
We
But
knew-
then, as I said, once
Yeah.
work said that they were going to close down, it got me going, oh crap, well, I don't want to lose. This is a lot of hard work, and I don't want to lose this.
Okay.
So,
So when we started, what did we owe on the home?
I think we had a loan of $300,000 when we first started, but there might have been $100,000 sitting in redraw.
Okay.
So the loan, I think we owed just over $200,000.
Okay. And how many properties?
At that stage, we had three investment properties. We'd sold. Going back a step.
You have to go back.
We did sell one of the properties in Kempsey because we had to connect the power on the land.
Right.
When we moved originally to Singleton, we had 3 investment properties. We rent invested. We ended up buying that investment property at Rutherford. So we had 4, and then we bought the place we live at now. And once we got that process started and DA approved and we wanted to start build, we needed power.
Yeah.
Because we had solar for like 7 years, so we had no power either.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was another thing. But what we did have to do was the property we had in Kempsey, we had to sell that.
We had to sell one of the properties and
Just to
take
fund
the money.
Fund the
We
power.
didn't make a lot of money on the place, but because we'd been paying it off for so long, principal and interest,
You had some.
we had some cash there that we got back to connect the power.
Okay. So home and 3 properties.
There, yep.
Yep.
Okay. And what are we sitting at today?
All up, we've got 9 properties.
9.
9. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Because we just sold one of the properties to pay off our home loan.
So talk us through that, because a lot of people don't realise you invest to make money, right? And if you've got a home loan for 2, 3, 4, a couple $100,000, charging interest, it's bad debt, you can't claim it. It affects your serviceability because it's set out over 30 years of those repayments, and they've got to use that obligation, right? But you invest over here and make money. The purpose of investing is to make money.
Yep.
If you make money, you don't actually make it unless you sell, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You sell, you capital gains tax, but you've had it for more than a year, you get the 50% CGT discount. Where else do you get half your money tax free? Not at work, right?
Definitely.
So you sell that, half of it's cash, pay off your home. That opens up a whole new...
Oh, we realised how much it opened up. We had no idea that we could do what we did.
No.
Yeah.
I think too, because of the properties we had, and we acquired them when we were so young, and we lived in them, we renovated them, we were emotionally attached to them.
Right,
So
because there's a lot of hard work. You know?
There was a lot of hard work.
and we're like, we didn't want to sell them. And even like once we started with you guys, and you like sell that dog, we're like,
Oh, that's our baby.
yeah.
But don't worry, it didn't take long. I think it might have been around when they kind of sat down and said, okay, and gave us the opportunities of what we could do if we sold it. We're like, okay, where do we sign the dotted line?
Right.
And then we wanted to sell all 3 of them, and you're like, no, slow down.
Yeah, okay. Bit by bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So 9 properties today. It's pretty good. So home and 8 investments?
Yeah,
Yes.
so 3 in our self-managed super fund,
Yep.
and the others are in our private name.
Yeah.
So 5 in your name,
Yep.
plus home 6, and and
6.
3 in super.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. And what's the plan from here?
Well,
So the plan from here is we've sold one this year, obviously, to pay off our home loan.
Yep.
Next year
Which
we'll
we
probably
did.
sell another one,
Okay.
and hopefully might buy 2 more with the money that we pull out of that one. If not one,
Okay.
then we've got another old one to
Well,
sell.
next year's now. It's July.
Well, it is now, yeah.
If I can sell that, no.
Yeah, so
It's going to be a big weekend.
oh, dear. I didn't think of that. We didn't come to buy
I
it.
did.
Oh dear.
oh, look out.
But anyway, we're on board. I know that, we were a little bit like, oh, what are we going to do when we sign up? Like, we've got a caravan and we've got a ute, a Hilux. They're like, you'll probably tell us to sell all that. But it wasn't like that at all. Like, they're like, no, slow down. In the end, it had to be us pulling ourselves back to stop trying to throw things at you to sell.
Some people, you have to, right? Everybody has a unique set of circumstances.
Yeah.
The advice doesn't vary greatly, but in some cases, you can afford to maintain these lifestyle things.
Yeah.
Some people can't.
Yeah.
Some people can, but shouldn't, and should liquidate them and start again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It depends on the position. So you guys are in a good position. Tell me a couple of things what would you say to someone that's at home that's lived through the owner build or in the shed, or they're worried they're going to get made redundant at work soon because they've been told something's changing or closing it? What are some of the tips and advice you could give to other people tuning in? If there's one family that you guys affected in 6 months' time, you see them at the Christmas party and they're like, thank you, I listened to your podcast and we went and sold the old home, and like, you'll meet someone and they'll help you.
That's where I'd say to start right now. These podcasts that you're doing, they're real people. We've met some of them. We haven't met others, but I tell you what, their stories are so different.
Yeah.
We're
And
not
they're so
paid
unique.
actors.
Yeah,
We're not
how good
paid
is that?
actors.
Have you done any of the messages on social? You will have this
Yeah.
like, are you a paid actor? Or back, yeah, bro.
Yeah. No, we honestly get paid with the love that we get from people at REM. At REM's,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we don't get it so much outside of this group this cult that we're in, the
Yeah.
community,
The cult.
the cult that we're in, you come to a
Well, you got
ram.
the 100 acres. We could build the cult there.
Good idea. We'll charge rent.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, we don't say too much outside because we do get a lot of negativity. Like, basically, what he's doing is it's going to be a bit of a scam or whatever.
Yeah.
But we have met so many people through this this procedure of working with you guys, and they're just genuine, real people, and it's so good to, like, when people tell us that we're doing really well, it makes you feel good and that, but you don't get that very often. So to be able to show people that what we're doing and to encourage people that what they're doing is the right thing to be doing, it's really rewarding.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, you guys did a bit of this yourselves. You were pretty successful in your own right. You bought stuff and
We
ran
bought
it.
stuff. We had no idea too much. We had a little bit of an idea of what we were doing, but we don't have the team that you guys give us. And that's the other thing is, when I say to people, they're like, oh, but how much do you have to pay these people to, invest with them? And I say, man, it's the best money we ever spend. I said...
Yeah, when you've got 16 people doing something for you,
and
or 7 people
and it is so
doing...
true.
Yeah.
When we first signed up with you guys, we had the option to, basically you give us a team, you give us our RM, you give us our wealth strategist, you give us our broker. You give us the option to have guys...
This many people or this many people?
Our accountant and things like that. And I know when we first signed up, we were going to keep our old accountant.
Oh, yeah.
Not because we knew them personally or we had a good rapport, but we just thought, let's just keep with
we
our...
know them, we trust them. Yeah.
And then as we worked alongside with our team that we were given, we're just like, oh, this is amazing. Let's just keep going with the group. And we couldn't be happier. I was only saying to Chris when I come home from work a few weeks ago, I had to reach out to a few different people for different reasons, like Emily, our RM, and Zachy. I had to speak with our broker, Zachy, and also Mark, the accountant.
Mark.
And I tell you what, I got home and I was just gobsmacked. I said to Chris, you know what? I messaged them guys throughout the day, and every single one of them people have gotten back to me. And still to this day...
When they're in back-to-back meetings, it's very... but that's why everyone has a mobile phone
if they're
in our company.
If they're in back-to-back meetings, I get it. If I've tried ringing them or I sent them a text message, they say to me, I get a message back going, I'm in a meeting, I'll call you back. And I'm telling you, to this day, 12 months later, there's not been one single phone call I've made to your team and they've not returned it.
Pretty good.
I don't know what you do to them, but
I'm not going to say. I have a policy, right? And I talked about this in another episode. So when Beck and I built this company, it's all big now, we used to be between Port Macquarie and Sydney in Bella Vista. So we'd do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Port. And I'd do first meet. It was me. The whole company was Beck and I, right? And a few staff. I'd do 6 a.m. breakfast meeting. So come in at 6 before work and I'll buy you a bacon and egg roll or something, right? And coffee. And so I did the first meeting at, say, 6:30. And the last one might be 8 or 10. And when it would finish, I'd text Beck and I'd buy him pizza for dinner and come in after work, right? And do a 6 and an 8. And then I'd text her. She'd have the car packed. She'd have whatever we need, laptop charged, had the little wire dongle thing. And I'd text her and say, just locking up, babe. See you in 15. She'd meet me in the basement, the front door. She'd start driving to Sydney at 10:30 on Wednesday night. And I had a rule. Everyone knew. I'm back to back. If you couldn't get Beck, I would, if it was urgent, text. Otherwise, email. And I didn't ever want anyone to go to sleep wondering. So if you had a burning question, even though it was only us initially, so Beck would drive and I would text back all the people that text me and go, hey, I've just finished. If you're awake, I can call now. In order.
Oh,
and I would call, get through all of them. So, I'm up, please call. And, oh, thanks, just a simple question, right? Off you go to bed. Then I'd work through the emails. And Beck would have a list. Then we'd swap halfway and have a feed. And then Beck would, have my second dinner. And then she'd go through emails and stuff and I'd drive. And then I'd be like, I'm tired. And then poor Beck would drive the whole bloody way. And then we get to Sydney, sleep for a few hours, and then boom, next day, Sydney, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, car, back to Port. And we did that for fucking years. So we have the same policy and say, guys, I don't expect you to do anything I would never do. But I do expect... I respond to at least at the end of the day, I text every single person back and say, sorry, I've been in back-to-back pre-book. I always respect to the person who books a meeting. You book a meeting, it's a priority. Somebody randomly has a thought or a fart or a question and they text or email, sure, that'll get responded to. outside of a full day of meetings.
Oh, well,
right?
Mark rang me back at like 8 o'clock the other night. I was cooking
what
dinner, the
account-
phone rang.
what
What
accountant
account
rings
rings you at 8
somebody
o'clock
at
at
8
night?
o'clock at
I
night?
said to Chris, I got off the phone, I'm like, that was the accountant. Do you believe he... and he was great.
He probably talks shit half the time
Well,
anyway.
I won't talk shit about the accountant. He might not call me back again.
He's a good man. He's a good man.
But that was the thing. Like he rings you up, and these guys talk to you like you're human.
not a 9
and
to 5.
it's not a... Oh, hang on, let me pull up your file and I'll find out. They're like, hey, Kaz, how you going?
Yeah.
Like, how's Chris's back going? What's going on? Like, they are beautiful, genuine people, and they ring us at all sorts of hours. So,
there's a very big internal policy.
Yeah.
If you can't at least text or email and explain you're in pre-booked meetings, and look, sometimes they might be in a meeting till 8 o'clock at night. Then they're like, I've got to see my family. Might be first thing the next day.
Yeah.
You know they're in meetings. But after, if they haven't done that night or that day, my big thing is everybody gets a response, even if it's a text or an email saying, sorry, I'm back to back till 8 p.m.
Yeah.
But I can call you tomorrow in this time.
Yeah, well, I can 100% attest that they do.
Yeah, the newbies maybe, but they learn very quick.
I don't have the newbies. I've obviously got the good ones. And that's what...
But even the newbies, I mean, they all sit in shadow for a couple of months to learn organically. It's like, guys, you're paid by them. That's what I really take. Like, you all run a business in the business.
Yeah.
Your pay, any incentive you're entitled to, isn't from me. It's from Chris and Kaz.
Yeah.
They pay you.
Well, they deserve
you fucking report to them, not to me.
Yeah.
If they come to me because you don't report to them properly, we've got a fucking problem.
Yeah, so that's when people say, "Oh, that's a lot of money." Like, you know, they get to the end of the masterclass where you do your spiel of how much it is, and I'm like, I don't like these guys are ringing worth every cent just to have these guys call you back. We've got a team.
It's actually a loss leader. It costs me more to do what I do than what I charge.
Yeah,
especially when you come in a REM.
Yeah,
and that thing's its own fucking beast now.
That's next level.
I need to just buy a building. Like it's.
Oh, you should.
It's for sale, isn't it?
Hey.
Casino's for sale.
Well, I think it's just going broke. Casino's probably not a good look, but I definitely need. It's at a point now we might as well have our own conference centre.
Yeah.
But it's taken a lot, but it's cool, you know. Like, and I think people are too like they get it. People saying they get REM withdrawals now because they're like. That people can tell we genuinely spent more on them in 3-4 days than they paid us. Yeah. Plus they get the advice, plus the experience, and that's really important to us to have that loss letter, hand on heart, and go. And people go, oh, but they took you here. No. You paid us, and we spent all of your money back on this process for you.
And it's amazing.
You just paid for it, right? You just agreed. You're like, oh, if they're doing this and they're doing this, like, it's your fucking money. We just got to hope you do more business.
It's worth every cent. We couldn't be happier. And I mean, to tell you how much we love coming to a REM, and we're only here as testimonials, like to show how much, and to tell people how much you guys have done for us. Yeah. And one of the biggest things, we did get a bit of FOMO last month when we did get invited, but we couldn't come.
Couldn't make it.
Our daughter had a concert that we really needed to be for, and then we this month we came, and it was one of those really heart string pulling things. Is our son actually is heading down to Sydney this weekend. His football team, he's only 8, and the football team that he plays for, the rugby union team, they do a lot of volunteer work. So with the game that's happening on Saturday night between the Waratahs and the British Lions, they actually have invited our 8-year-old children to go down there and run the Lions run the Waratahs onto the field, and then have a mini game in the half time. So we're here at REM. And we've sent him down with a friend. Thank God she's able, because he's footy mad. Yeah. But that's how much we love REM and the feeling and the community spirit when you get to come to one of these things.
Thank you on behalf of every single family you help overcome their own shit, because you know you're away from that. And it's a crazy cool experience for him.
It's amazing.
Forget, right?
Yeah.
But it is, you do get a lifelong buzz. It's almost that energy exchange of. I'm actually curious. What are the frequent questions someone's asked you at dinner or breakfast? What do you get asked all the time at REM, besides if you're a paid actor? Because you get that still.
A lot of how we found you guys, like there's a lot of that talk about how we stumble upon you and things like that, where we're at with our journey and how we got there. I
suppose like how we budget and do stuff as well.
So that's a common one. Like
how common one is a budget.
Because what do you guys operate on per week?
600.
Yeah, 600.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were doing 550 up until probably 2 months ago. Yeah. But living out of town is a big impact on fuel, huge. And then obviously running kids around for sport. Yeah. So that whole 550 pretty much went between food and fuel. Yeah. So there's no fun in that.
But I just want to give kudos to, because You could make any excuse you want on good mining incomes and living out of town and doing this you could make up all the bullshitty reasons in the world to spend $1 or $2 grand a week because you earn it and you deserve it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you don't.
Absolutely. We make a lot of sacrifices. A lot of people go, oh yeah, you're lucky he's working in the mines. It's like, well, no, we're not lucky. We did a lot of hard work and we still make we still work really hard, but we make a lot of sacrifices. Chris works every weekend, so every single weekend for him to come down here, it's annual leave.
Yeah, that's money off the table.
It's money off the table.
Well,
it's
I
money.
Get paid, but like it's still.
Oh, he gets paid annual leave, but it takes your money off the table as in that.
But it's also leave you're not getting to go spend time with the family.
That's right.
Away
And then
from the family.
and where that is I work during the week now. So the only time Chris and I are ever at home with the children from day up to day down is on the school holidays, because he's at work every weekend. I'm at work. Sorry, you're at work every weekend.
Yeah.
I'm at work during the week. And the only time the kids have both their mum and dad at home is in the school holidays.
Right.
So as a family, that's probably difficult. And I don't socialise on a weekend, because who wants to go out on their own and socialise without their husband? You're not getting invited to barbecues and things like that because you don't have your husband there. So
well, at least you get Rem together.
we get to come to Rem,
This is your little getaway.
I had to see his white girl wasted at the bar later.
Well, you don't know what to say to people. They're like, oh, so you're flying to the Gold Coast. What are you going away on a holiday? You don't know whether it's business or holidays, but we're not getting paid for it. So
it's a holiday.
is it a
It's
holiday?
great.
And it's
It's a kid-free weekend.
It is. Oh, my kids are just jealous. Like that
Are
they
they?
can't go. They know you so well, and they're like, oh, we just want to come to Rem, and when can we come?
I'm going to have to get like psychological help about my language, because so many families are like, our kids are now like, see ya.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking fuck knuckle pump and
That's
I'm
all
like,
right.
oh,
the biggest one
no.
is my kids had a disco at school last night, and they had to go dressed as the teachers, and they had to go. The teachers had to go dressed as the students, and when they got home, my son was a little bit disappointed. I'm like, what's the matter, mate? And he goes, I didn't win the dancing comp. And I pulled out the Jeeve moves, and I'm like, oh, you didn't have the Jeeve moves. And he knew, and my daughter, like, they know exactly the dance, they know the song, and they're always.
It's really cool for Becca and I, because it's kind of taken, the community's taken on this energy and momentum and life of its own. Like, it's really special, like.
Oh, I don't think you guys realise how much a part of people's lives that you are with, that you don't even know. Like,
oh, we do, because we get the social media messages.
Yeah.
It's like people in the car playing YG on the thing.
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
kids,
yeah.
like, we do, but it's just got so much momentum now. Like, I've actually said this month I'm taking a break from social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm usually the first person in the group, plus all the crap online.
Oh,
Like
it's a lot.
But it's just, it's taken such a toll on Beck. And it's like, we can't even have a meal together without she's fixing the TikTok and I'm on the Instagram.
Yeah.
So we've got a team for that now. It's like, I'm just going to, like a dry July, I've just made a rule that the social media is only on a spare phone on the treadmill in the gym.
Yeah.
So I'll probably now, like the other day, I walked for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Beck's like, this is the best thing ever.
I know.
Because it's so full on. Like, when do you,
It is,
like
yeah.
people say, when do you get time? I don't know when I actually get any time in my own head ever. Like, you see it around, it's like, hey.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's
I don't know how you do
the only
it.
time is in the sauna.
Yeah.
I sit in the sauna at night and just go, and then even then it's usually on the phone.
Yeah.
So, but it is a cool community, that's for sure.
Oh, it's amazing. And the people that we've met, like as I said, we just went out there and we met up with the Cherries, or the Goggin family, as I call them,
Yeah,
because
the
they were
Goggin.
going to Rem. You will connect with somebody. And as I said, our story to us might not seem, we just know to work hard. We enjoy working hard. Like we get a lot from standing back and go, oh, we did that, and we did it with no help. That was us. So when they sat up there and they told us their story, it meant a lot to us to see what they went through and where they're at as well. So by us going up there, if we can help somebody like they helped us, then
and that's the thing, the theme of this when we started doing it. People are like, we want to hear from real families, or why don't you have single people? Why don't you have people with 5 kids? And I'm like, fuck, I've got all of them. Fucking ease. So I'm like, all right, you want it? You got it.
And
so
you
now
do.
Because I mean, I used to do podcasts every week myself.
Yeah.
It was me, it was Beck. I'd talk shit. I'd get angry. I'd rant it. And now I don't think I've done a podcast in fucking years, right? So it's Doc and it's you guys.
Yeah.
I'd rather celebrate you guys so people go, oh, that's kind of like us. Shit, maybe we can do it.
Yeah.
Heaps better than me banging on about some flog on the internet.
Yeah.
Or politics or some shit. So
and I don't think people realise how much they can do. Like, they don't realise, as you say, with the toys and things, or they can do it. They, like, stop going out for dinner every 5 minutes, or stop, the stuff that they won't give up because they think they deserve it. And it's like,
but we all work a full-time week, most people, right? We all work all week, some more hours than others. We all have bills. We all have life. Like, everyone's just so full of shit. I don't know why people get up and lie to themselves in the mirror every day and go, oh, we can't, we got weed. If you just go through your statements, you realise you're full of shit.
Yeah.
So just stop lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You don't realise how much time in the day you've got until you do say something like 75 hard, and you got to fit all that in.
You guys crushed it. You came what positions?
I was third.
Yeah, I'm still trying.
He'll be back.
I did it twice.
He did it
completed
twice.
it
I tapped out the second time, but Chris went really, really well the second time.
He's crushed it. Well, we've redone 60 Strong as well, but...
I haven't looked into that one.
So we've just redone it. The whole app's been redone.
Okay.
So watch this space. That's the next launch with Nick, and that is, it's been redone. So it's the 160 minutes a day.
Yep.
But you got to do your 10,000 steps a day. Because
Okay.
I figured for me, like I'm sedentary, right? I sit for 12 hours a day.
Well, same with me, operating machinery. I sit in a machine for 12 and a half
so
hours.
I'm like, and it's still 2 things a day,
Yeah.
but you got to do 10,000 steps a day plus 60 minutes of exercise.
I'm going to have to fit a watch into my
Yeah.
FFF because I
So
don't
you
have a
put
step
or you
counter.
put the pedometer on the phone if you got your phone or on your watch or whatever.
I don't have a watch, so I'll have to do something like that.
So, but you can put it on your phone as long as you got your phone with you.
Yep.
So I've got this little thing on the top of my phone, and it'll count your steps.
Because that's what I find, and that's what I can say to anybody. The biggest thing that pushes us to achieve things, and it is in a part of 75, write a daily list.
Yeah.
If you have a list to wake up to of a morning time and you go, right, this is the things I've got to do today, ticking that off the list is the biggest pusher, like the feeling you get when you climb into bed and know that you've done all that.
Once you're done, then you go, oh, I'll go and scroll shit on social media.
I know.
Yeah.
Or I'll go to the pub, or I'll play video, whatever it is you like. But do all the shit that you're obliged to do first as a productive human being.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then
And that's
you do
what's
whatever
pushed.
you want.
That's what's pushed us. We're like, right, we want to pay the loan off. Right, we want to buy another house. And once that's on our list, the conversations and the push and the drive that we have every day, which is why we probably follow things like, oh, what have they got to offer? 75 hard. Let's go give that a crack. And I tell you what, the motivation it brings, and just back to us as a couple, like the excitement. It's like, oh, did you drink your water? Where are you up to with that? Like,
I know. There's nights when I was worried Beck didn't read her pages or take a photo, and I've woken her up.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, Nelly, she's going to sleep, and I'm coming in. I'm like, did you do your face? She's like, fuck you, I was just about to fall asleep. I'm like, did you do? She goes, yes, fuck you. I'm like, sorry, I just didn't want you to fail.
I know, but the connection it did for us too, because I mean, you get a bit like we've been together for such a long time, so to have a new goal and a new challenge. It brings excitement back. Like, have you done that? Have you done that? Or what are we going to do to get here today? So that's the biggest thing I can say. Write a list.
Yeah.
Whether it be hang washing out, go do the vacuuming, write a list and tick it off of the day. And that's what we
It's no
find.
different to the grocery shop every day versus once a week or twice a week. Or,
We work best when we're challenged and when we're chasing a goal.
Jump in the same boat and row the same direction.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing I'd say. Be on the same page.
Yeah,
and we are. We're very, very lucky that we are rolling the same way. That
Good. I like that. Same boat, row together, same time, same direction.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
Set goals.
Yeah, you got to, and write
Goals.
them down. Even
Write
the
them
goal,
down.
right? Agree?
Yeah.
You can't have different ones.
No.
Yeah.
If you can have different ones, but they've got to be in a similar direction, right? You can't have one there and someone there.
No.
You fucking
No.
you're opposite.
Well,
directions.
even the second 75 hard, I know Chris was really determined because I went really well the first time, and the second time, he's like, "No, I want to go again." I'm like, "Babe, I'm not ready to go again. That was really hard. I need to reset."
You've actually got to be prepared.
You had if you're doing that
'Cause
thing
if you're
properly,
doing it because you don't want to do it, forget it.
And the second time I went into it because he really wanted to do it, and I really wanted to support him because he really supported me the first time. And he said, "I want to go again." I'm like, "Babe, I'm not ready." And I knew I wasn't ready. And I think I got about a week and a half in, and I'm like, "You know what? I'm out. I can't do this. But I don't want you to give up."
No, sometimes
So-
you're better off just supporting. You go,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll deal with the kids.
That's exactly
you
what I
go
did.
mental. I'll have the
Yeah.
food done for you, the
Yes.
clothes, like, and actually be the best support
And
partner
that's
ever.
exactly what we did. I said, "You know what?
Made my-
For me
Same
to
thing
help
for
you,
me.
we're going to keep rowing that same way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do the kids' bedtime. I'm going to do the
Yep.
kids' cooking. I'm going to make sure everything."
Because you know how fucking hard
It
is.
is. It was hard.
If you're not
Yeah.
so structured,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Forget it.
that's how I was able to quit but support him and say, "You
Yeah.
keep going, and now I'm going to do this for you, so you know that the night time when
it's teamwork.
yeah, and it is.
It's teamwork. I love it, guys.
Teamwork
Very
makes
cute.
the dream
Yeah.
work.
Huh? Cute couple you are. Except for that first part. But it's kind of funny.
Oh, I'll regret that when I listen to it on the
Yeah, you gotta
podcast.
be
But
like,
as I
"What
said,
was I
the
thinking?"
people that think this is not real, my friends and all the people that know that story will
They're
know,
gonna be like, "Oh,
okay,
shit,
this is
yeah,
real.
This is real. Even
yeah.
mum.
Even mum's going to laugh, yeah.
You're keen or what? I
So,
love it.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, any other practical tips you could give anyone that you've learnt? Like, are you guys people go, I'm going to buy in bulk. I'm like, don't do too much bulk. Interest is calculated.
Yeah.
Is there any little things or myths that you thought were really good that you realised are not along the way?
Yeah, I did try and do a lot of that, like buy in bulk. Let's buy all this in bulk, and then I don't have to go to the shops next week.
Okay.
Backfired. The more I bought, the more that got ate and got used up or went off in the fridge.
Yeah. Okay.
Fresh produce.
Yeah, we just set a mealie, and because we live out of town too, we have to be prepared, because if I don't get meat out or Chris doesn't get meat out at the start of the day, then what's for dinner?
Yeah.
So you got to be prepared. You got to have a list to stick to, a meal plan.
Be structured.
Yeah, structure.
Have a plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So that's that like meal prep. That was, I suppose 75 hard sort of taught us that too. Like just meal prep, and we're so busy running around chasing the kids through the week with sport.
Yeah.
we have to have
You've
everything
gotta sorta
done.
maybe have dinner cooked or
Just heated it pre-done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going. Not that we do hardly ever. You'd be like going out and buying takeaway.
Yeah.
Like, which
Yeah.
we sort of.
We never
if we
did.
Go, if we get takeaway, it's like we'll go to the pub and have a decent feed.
Yeah. Have a
For us to
Kona
buy
meal or something.
takeaway and then drive home, it'd be cold by the time we get home, because we live too far out of town, so we just don't worry about it. My kids think I'm a walking vending machine, because as soon as I jump in the car, I've got food, because I don't want to go to the shops and buy it. Like if we're going to town for the afternoon, they're going to be starving when they leave school.
Yeah.
So I
Here's a
always
muesli
have
bar
food
or
with
whatever,
me.
here's
So
something.
it kind of backfires me on sometimes, because we just literally get in the car to drive home, and they're like, Mum, I'm hungry, where's the food? Like, so they literally think I'm a walking vending machine. But I tell you what, the money that saves, not having to go to the shop
But
and buy
again,
them.
that's structure.
It's
That's
structure.
preparation and a plan of going, hey, we're X amount of I'm going to have a banana or an apple or whatever. You know, it's also when I grew up, it's like, I'm hungry. Have a banana. I don't want a banana. Then
Well,
you're
then
not
you're
fucking
not
hungry. It's still like, man.
Yeah.
It's just so ingrained in me, you know what I mean? But it's easy to take them through and get them a happy meal and all that bullshit these days.
No, and you know what I find too, and I not giving our kids that all the time. When we do take them out, our kids always turn around and go, "Oh, thanks, Mum, for taking us for dinner." And
They get
like they
excited.
get it's a treat for them.
Yeah.
And
that's what it should be.
and for them to turn around and thank us for taking them out for dinner, that means a lot. And it's because we're not just giving it to them all the time.
That's good parenting, which results in good children. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Now we're going to do a part 2 of this, because I want to see, where do you guys want to go from here? If we sit down again in 6 months, what do you want it to look like?
Just keep going, I think, with the turnover of properties. So maybe start turning over.
Start selling a few.
Start selling the older.
Sell one, buy 2.
Yep.
So sell down, build up. Sell down, build up.
Yeah.
Bit
So
like
moving-
Steve and Sue-Ann.
Yeah, so
100%.
moving from the older properties that need maintenance
Okay.
to newer properties
So
that
the ones that are starting to be a ball ache, click them,
Yep. Get rid of them.
update them.
yeah, to ones that have depression schedules or under builder's warranty, so that Chris is not going back to fix them when there's something wrong with them. Yeah, so still investing, and still we love having the properties and doing that, but buying new ones and turning them over so that they're working
Because you
for
were
us.
originally fixing a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
And
All of
renovating
them,
okay.
Yeah.
Besides the
So
one we built, all of them.
I'm past. Well, I still like it, and I probably would like to buy a property and flip it if I wasn't working.
As
or
a
doing
hobby,
it
though,
as
not
a hobby,
as-
but
yeah.
I'd rather buy property.
Let it just leave it, do its
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
Let it do its thing.
So there's been a bit of a shift in your investment strategy for sure.
Yeah,
then.
we'd always
100%.
thought buy old, renovate them, and hold them.
Okay.
Yeah, not what we think now.
I'd like to, just keep going with what we're doing and keep building that portfolio up, and
Okay.
that's I think that's what we'd probably like to do.
So we might out of the eight investments, couple in super, we maybe want to look at the 6 in your personal name, and maybe look to start flipping 2 or 3, some of the older ones.
Yep.
It's now July 1's ticked over.
Yep.
New financial year as well. So we maybe want to start looking at a strategy that we'll work on over the weekend to start flicking a couple, maybe 1 or 2 this financial year.
Yep.
But we'll look at the serviceability that'll create and what they had rental-wise, depreciate versus what we could replace them with. Because we don't want to flick them for the fun of it.
No, that's
if we're
it.
going to flick them, we need to know what service. And this is the problem, right? You go to the bank and say, can I buy a house?
Yeah.
And they go, no. What we do is go, well, if we were to want to buy a house, what numbers do we need to achieve? Oh, if we sell that one, it gets those two.
And at the
So
same time,
we need to reverse engineer it.
Yep.
At the same time, we need a bit of cash flow coming in with those rents. Well, there's some of the properties that we bought. One's actually getting rented out today. The tenants move in, and one of the other ones isn't due for another probably 6 or 8 weeks. So we kind of want to wait until the cash flow's coming in from them before we flip the other ones, which
we'll
are bringing.
pre-do the calculation and go, okay, what's that rent? Well, okay, the dust has settled there. That's got new tenants. That's got perfect. Cool. Now, what would happen if they were swapped?
Yes.
And then we should have it all just ticking along and cash flowing, which would be good. So we'll play with that this weekend.
Yeah.
Zach, you'll be busy. And Mark will be busy.
Zachy's great. They're
Is he
great.
here this weekend?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, good.
That'd be good.
Mark will be on stage wearing his best tablecloth. Shirt. I'll give him shit.
Funny. Yeah,
we have a lot of banter.
I was going to say, I won't unsee that now.
No, hopefully he's got a stripy tablecloth on. We'll see.
Yeah.
He'll hear this
Usually
later and go,
does.
fucking arsehole.
It was funny on the
man,
he was
the
ripping
poor
the boys off.
the
like,
poor Uber
they were
drivers.
like, oh.
Yeah, he's giving it to the... They did well, apparently,
They did well.
everyone
They
said.
did.
They did well.
Which is good, because I was crook as a dog. 'Cause it really hit me the last round. You shake hands with 500-600 people, and not everyone's the most hygienic. And then I wake up on Sunday, I've got no voice, glands, throat... and muscles, everything. I was just shot for 2 weeks.
It's funny, the last room, I think Chris, I said something was said, and I said to Chris, oh, did you go say hi to G? And say thanks because you let us come the last time when he had a bad back and stuff. And I said something, oh, did you go say hi to G and shake his hand? He goes, oh, I don't think he likes shaking people's hands. And so you just...
I tried to
he goes,
fist
I think I like to fist bump
No,
them.
I think I shook your hand.
Yeah, he goes, I should have... He said, I shook his hand, I should have
Once I get to know people better, I'm like, and I watch them walk in here and stage and go, hey man, do you wash your hands before or after you go to the bathroom? They look at me and go, after. I say, you touch your most prized possessions without washing. And they go, and then all the women come, thank you. And he said, I wash before and after now. But I've been in the bath, like I have to have bloody security now because I'm trying to go take a leak.
Yeah.
And people are talking to me in the toilet. I'm like, you want to hold it for me? Like, can I just piss in peace?
Yeah. That must, and that's the thing too. I mean, I know that we've messaged you a couple of times in the night time, but and it genuinely you get back to us as well, and we try not to do that. We try not to message people outside of their times, but that particular time I was having a bit of an argument with Chris. That was when we just sold the last place, and as I said, we've always kind of kept rents lower and that to look after the tenants, and because I don't like to see people go without houses and stuff. And I think you were rubbing off on Chris, like we're along talking to the Infinity people, and it's about, looking after ourselves and not just going low rents and things like that. So when we went to sell the latest place, I don't know if you remember the message, you probably must get 1,000 of them. And
told you, it's not a fucking charity.
Basically,
exactly. That's what I said.
Well, the house...
You're providing a service and taking the risk to put a roof over their head.
Well, what happened...
But it's not a charity.
Yeah, well, what happened was... We sold the property that morning, and then the real estate rang me back about an hour later and said, look, I have to tell you, we've just had another offer on the place and it's $5,000 more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember.
And all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so I turned around to Chris and I said, and I said to the real estate, we're pretty genuine people. If we've made a handshake deal, like we're not going to go back on that. Anyway, I went, and he goes, maybe just go and talk to Chris. It's his house too, and just confirm. Oh, I've been with him long enough. I know what he's going to say. Anyway, here he is, bed-bound on all these meds because his back was stuffed. And I told him the situation. He goes, stuff it, take it the higher offer. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, no. And he goes, we've been giving people this stuff, all too cheap for too long, blah, blah, blah. It's about time we look after ourselves.
That was the Endone talking.
That's what I said to him. I rang the real estate back, who is a mate of ours, and I said, you know what? He's really high on drugs. I said, like medication. I said, and I think it's talking, but he's turned that offer down. I said, I don't want to borrow it. Anyway, cutting a long story short, we ended up getting a higher figure. And then
we got what we want for it.
Sorry, we got the asking price, which was $5,000 more. And it was the same. We sold it to the same guy. The real estate went back to him and said, look, they've had another offer. They've decided if you don't want to pay the extra money, they're going to go with the other offer. So the guy came up and said, no, I'm happy to pay the higher figure. That's fine. Anyway, so I was feeling a little bit guilty that we don't do things like that. And I'm like, oh my God, the medication's kicked in. Who is this guy that I've married? And then we just found out the other day, a friend of ours who lives in Kempsey still and knows our tenants that we've had in the place for 17 years. And he ran in and said, oh, how are you going now? The house is sold. And she said, well, actually, the guys that bought it have come and doubled the rent. And she said, I can't really afford it. It's a lot of money. She said, I was going to the real estate to look at moving out. She said, there's nowhere else to go. I have to pay the higher rents. So
Doubled the rent.
They doubled the rent.
Yeah.
Absolutely doubled
Here
it.
you are
so
worrying about $5,000.
I know.
Your rent's been 50%
well, that's what
under market.
Chris turned around to me and said, "Do you feel guilty for asking him for more money now?" And I'm like, "That bugger." So, but yeah, that just proves like we were keeping it cheap and looking after, like, you know, while we're paying a mortgage, working really long hours, and our kids are, you know, living in a shed, so we can look after these other people that, you know, and then somebody comes along and just charges them proper rent and.
It's hard. It's really sad at the moment.
Yeah.
But guys, you should be really bloody proud, and I appreciate you being so raw and so honest, and sharing with everybody too. It means a lot. And we'll do a part 2 of this because I think we need to start looking at some of the items. Like I said, let's sell them down in the near future. Let's see what we can turn that into. But before we end, have you got any questions for me?
Yeah, I do. What's your thoughts on the government implementing this unrealised gains tax?
Not worried about it at all.
Yeah.
I never worry about anything at all unless it actually passes.
Okay.
Right? So if you go way back when, I think it was Shorten or whatever, he won an unlosable election by saying he was going to scrap negative gearing. Yeah?
Yep.
Now guess who votes? People who vote typically have some sort of money or position in society, i.e. property investors or people with homes.
Yep.
Guess who doesn't usually bother to vote, sadly?
The people are never going to have that.
The people that are renting, that don't understand that it doesn't affect them.
Yep.
But if it affects you, you vote. Yeah? Now, something I also acknowledge is, one, that policy is completely fucking rubbish. It's completely fraught with bullshit, and they'll have to completely rewrite it. Because what you'll do is crumble an entire economy. If you're needing people to pay in a financial year for something that has on paper made a gain and have to go be able to fund that and they can't, you'd have a whole economy come tumbling down and crashing down.
Yep.
They can't introduce it, even if they do, right? If they do, they'll fuck up the entire economy, they'll fuck up the whole housing market. But guess what the governments do now? Co-ownership's becoming one of the biggest things in the country. If the governments are saying you only need 2% to buy in Queensland now and we'll put in 20 or 30%, does that not tell you they want to make Australia's housing economy the most profitable, sustainable thing on the planet and keep getting stamp duties and levies and protect it?
Yep.
It'll have to be too big to fail.
Yeah.
Because if all the governments are going to own 20 or 30% of every new family's home moving forward, because all they've got to do is guarantee the mortgage insurance or put in 20% instead of going to build $1 million home. So they're smart.
Yeah.
Put in 200 grand, help everyone get a house,
Yeah.
get the stamp duty back.
Yeah.
Right? Get the levies, So I'm not worried about it at all. Also because if they do introduce it and fuck everyone up, guess what will happen at the next election?
They'll get voted out.
They'll get voted out.
They don't want that.
So they'll introduce it. The time it'll take to introduce and pass a law, Kerry Packer used to say it, you keep introducing law after law after law and you don't repeal and no one understands it, no one, right? So say they do and they put it in, guess what will happen? They'll get voted the fuck out, and then guess what the new party does? Undoes it.
Undoes it.
So what I'm very conscious of in life, it's like everyone asks me about this $3 million super thing. Not a single person.
That was my next question.
No, I'm gonna beat you.
Sweet.
Everyone that asked me about that, I said not a single person to date since it's been spoken about that's asked me has any chance in high hell of having $3 million in super. Now you do with your portfolio, so
That's
you're
what
the
I was gonna ask
first
you.
person publicly on record live. You're the first person that's asked me that it could affect.
Yep.
Okay. Now again, what is superannuation? It's really a tax haven. It's the lowest tax rate, 15%. So they're going to keep fucking around with taxes in Australia. It's going to keep pissing people off, and eventually people may leave and go somewhere else. They run away to Dubai or the Cayman Islands, fuck knows where, right? Singapore. So people are going to start leaving that have got the resources to, or people are going to start doing different shit. But country's still got to run. We're in probably one of the most beautiful, safest, mineral-rich, produce-rich, like we can survive here without anything from pretty much anywhere else, right? We've got coal, we've got iron ore, we've got produce, we've got veggies, we've got water. Like, we're pretty safe here, right? And we're so far away from everyone. So the thing we need is housing, and we need trades to build it. Unless we're going to 3D print houses and concrete and this and that. So I always say this, I never worry about anything, because even if they do introduce this shit, it typically is always what they call grandfathered. So let's just say they introduce it and go, as at the 1st of January 2026, we've introduced unrealised capital gains tax.
Yep.
They never really have gone and said on anything you already own.
Yeah.
It's from any property, shares, anything
after that
purchased after. So if you look at any legislation, any of that shit, they call it it's effective from that date. It's grandfathered out. So anyone who buys anything from this date, which is all the more reason for people to fucking invest now.
Yeah.
Same as superannuation when they talk about changing tax. It'll be typically from a point in time, and it will be forward thinking on the 1st of July 26 or the 1st of January 26, right? They'll intro it. They'll sure as shit get voted out on that.
Yeah, 100%.
No matter how bad. All of this stuff we hear is political spin. So they've got a reason to all get pays and argue about it in Canberra. It's just all verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
I never worry about it because if it does come in, it's typically from a future date or date in time.
Yep.
It doesn't typically affect previous people. Because you can't say, I bought, and they can, but they don't, but hey, anyone who's got a property, we're going to take gearing away. Well, it would have to apply. So do you remember when they did stamp duty or land tax forever? And then they scrapped it.
Yep.
So they brought it in. But if you said, no, I don't want to do property tax. If you want to do, here's 50 grand stamp duty, or you can pay no stamp duty and pay property tax forever. But once you made that decision, that property was fucked for life because it had that forever.
Yeah.
You couldn't swap it, right?
Yep.
And then they undid it all.
Yeah.
So you see, that's a really good example. When they brought that in, they brought it and then they fucked it off and got rid of it.
Yeah.
So I never worry about it whilst there's a election year or just into and just after, because it's all hot air to make everyone look important and talk shit and make them look like, and then they water it down. I'll give you a really good example: Trump tariffs. I'm going to fuck up the planet with tariffs and make America rich again, great again. And now, even now with China, they've settled down here. There's fuck all tariffs.
Yeah.
It's funny because, like,
think about it, blah, and we end up here. But what do we all talk about? Think of, especially in mining, all the boys at work on site will be talking about is 100%. Tariffs and supers and tax, because we think it's smart to non-tax ourselves to wealth. You'll never save your way to wealth.
No.
Right? But the number one thing we all want to talk and whinge about is taxes. So when they do, I go, boys, if it happens, it's probably going to be applicable from a set date to anything you acquire after that. It is absolutely unconstitutional. It's Wick, it's Marbo, it's if you go back to the castle, it's like, it's unfair to say, hey, you bought shares in 1980 and we're going to start taxing you on their value increase. Do you know what I mean? Like, I bought that in 1980 under that legislation in good faith. Changing what I did would see a whole nation's economy shit the bed.
And that
unless their intent is to crash the whole Australian economy. Now, they probably put it through. They'll probably do something from some sort of date with some sort of rules. When they get like this really clear draft thing they're voting on, I'll watch it and I'll worry about it. Then I'll go to a PwC, a Deloitte's, an EY. I'll go to all those big boys and girls, which everyone will. Spend $1 gazillion and get rules, interpretations. And as you guys know, anything that's ever been introduced, usually those firms write it.
There's a way around it.
Right? Exactly. And then you'll figure out how to actually play the game of Monopoly. And you never do anything illegal or untoward, but you go and get the expert advice. And then I'll filter that down to my client community. But for now, it's just more shit on the news.
Well, it's the barbecue mafia. Like, the fellas at work will go, oh, geez, how are you going to go with this super and that $3 million? And I'm like, oh, well.
And that's probably something. That's probably something with us investing and buying houses. Everybody finds a way to go, oh, how are you going to afford that when,
Yeah, you know what I say? How you go when you come to work all day and lose half your paying tax?
Yeah, that's
You still come to fucking work.
But which probably leads me to my question. My question's not so much governmental like that. It's more of a personal question, which obviously led us onto the journey of finding you, which was the fact that, come 5 years' time, I may not, be in a position that I have a good paying job. And looking for where to go from here, I'd said that all I want is that when I do finish my job there, and if I'm lucky enough to get a redundancy, that we are set up so that I don't have to work, but I want to work. I want to work because I want to work and not because I have to work. Seeing our parents struggle, you know, I don't want to be in that position that I get near retirement age and then I'm stressed out about money. With the journey that we're going on, in 5 years' time, am I going to be in a position that I don't have to stress about going and retraining myself into another thing? Because I'm really worried that,
absolutely.
you know,
I'll give you a really good example.
if I can go and work...
Let's sell one of your properties. Let's sell two of your properties, whatever. Let's sell the properties and have $1 million cash. Okay, because you've got a big enough portfolio.
Yeah.
And let's put that in the fund and earn 12%.
Yeah, okay.
There's 120 grand a year.
All right, well,
paid monthly.
Yeah.
10 grand. Now, okay, you might earn 200 and you think that's shit, but you're not going to work.
No, that's right.
So if you were to do that plus do
Yeah.
anything for fun.
Yeah, and that's it. It's not about, I don't want to go, oh, okay, we've got all these properties, I don't want to work again. I love working. I
If you look
enjoy...
at Steve and Jamie Perryman,
Yeah.
who were on one recently, they sold their motel, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
right.
Put the money into the fund,
Yep.
travelled the world, and now they're both working again, but they're receiving...
And she said that she'd never work again, and
I
you said,
don't-
yes, you will. That'll be me. Yeah, no,
right.
I do want to work.
So here's the thing. Making the strategic decisions to build liquidity or capital, but have it still appreciating for now.
Yeah.
The joy of that is when we need to make changes, even if the world shit the bed and you had to sell, and by the time you sold it dropped 10%.
Yeah.
10%, $1 million versus 900 grand is still 900 grand that all your mates at work fucking bang on about that don't have.
Yeah.
On their swing off, they go to Bali and
Yeah.
Thailand, right?
Yeah.
So that's still 900 grand liquidity instead of $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Market's never dropped more than 5.5. Look at Doc's stuff, right?
Yep.
So I always say don't stress too much about it. Keep that drive and that fear.
Yeah.
That fear is
I just got to
healthy.
find what I want to do now. Like I've got
And
the
you'll
opportunity.
find it.
Yeah,
You'll find it.
I'm waiting.
Found it. It's buying and selling property.
But if you look at what I'm doing now and look at it at a higher
Yeah.
level for the bank, and this is where other buyers agents and gurus and do it in trust because the bank won't give them the
Yeah.
money, grow the fuck up. Cool, that's cute, right? But I sell so many properties every year. My tax returns, I'm an investor. I make profit, more profit than out of my every year out of flipping property. That's on my tax returns.
Yeah.
I can show millions of dollars a year with tax paid on it. And half of it, CGT free.
Yeah.
So you can get to a point where you actually are a professional investor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a track record over a few years. So sitting on 8, 9 properties now,
Yeah.
we can, and that's why each financial year we want to
turn
show,
whatever.
like Stephen said, sell two,
Yeah.
buy more, sell two. But and what we're actually doing then strategically each financial year is besides our employment income, we're now showing you as a professional investor outside of your employment income.
Yeah.
So if we stop our employment income, we have historical tax returns for the
Yeah.
bank
Yep.
showing you're a professional investor that's consistently made
Yep.
$500,000 a year for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And which will make it easier to keep investing, won't it? To
Just
buy.
got to, the oldest two, or whichever two have gone up the most, cool.
Yeah,
They've
the
had it
ones-
because the ones that have a big run usually then settle for a while. They don't all run forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a big run, sell those ones.
Yeah.
The next one's run, sell those
Yeah.
ones. And we just swap the deck chairs out.
Yeah. Again,
So-
I just wanted to get to the end of 5 years and not have to do shift work and not have to be away from home every
So
weekend.
if you just
and-
rationalise and say, I want 240 grand a year or 120 grand, we need to get $1 million or $2 million profit
yeah.
out of your entire portfolio.
Okay.
Put it in something like the fund, like I do, which you guys do as well. You got money in the, the
Yep.
fund.
Yep.
And you've got your 120 to 240 grand a year.
Yep.
That's where people without it get, you're going to have money to make money. Well, you've got to make the money
Yep.
to have the money to make more money,
Yep.
to have money babies,
Yep.
right? But just something as simple as that for you with a fixed income stream.
Yep.
Don't get the capital growth, but just the fixed income stream to replace what you were doing at work.
Yep.
You'll be fine.
Very good.
But keep that fear because it's healthy.
It is healthy.
The
I
fear-
just,
same for me.
again, it's a bit like having that goal. Now I've just got to find what I want to do, and once I know what I want to do, I'll go for it. But it's just being outside of office work or computer work,
Yeah.
being away from all that stuff. It's
And
come a long way. And
we don't know what the world looks like in 5 years with AI.
yeah,
People
yeah.
could be, but typically technology has always been a net. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
whilst we bring the internet and AI, what we lose in some fields, we
Pick
then
up
gain in
elsewhere.
other new industries and roles emerge. So let's see, stay tuned. But I wouldn't be, the fear is healthy, but
Yeah.
where you are, where you guys are, no problem.
Yeah,
You'll live very happily ever after.
fingers crossed. With
Well,
all your help.
thanks to infinity.
Well, you got, again, we just give you the info.
Yeah.
If you stick to it, well, it's time for lunch for me again, jeez. If you stick to it, you'll be fine. If
Not
you,
just the info, you give us the team. The team,
Yeah,
we
the
we
team.
help the team help us greatly. They give us our goals and
yeah.
they help us.
Look, the team is brilliant. You know, they don't get it. They get kudos, but they don't get enough kudos. But I'm intrigued this year because I know I've looked at the numbers. We've got brokers here, individual brokers, not the team. The brokers alone. One of them settled $260-something million this financial year.
Oh wow!
Now, only less than 10% of the industry doing more than $50 million a year, and we've got people doing 260, 240.
Crazy.
They work their asses off. So
They
I'm
do.
very excited this year because in all the awards coming through, I know that there'll be whole top 3 or whole top 4 at best is some of our team. And that's cool because I get to pass the baton and be like, I don't even do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
I stay up to date with it, but I don't sit there and do it.
Yeah.
But our team are doing 2-3 times better than I ever did. That's a business. That's a community. That's pretty cool now.
Yeah.
So I get to enjoy that, which is cool.
Yeah.
So,
Very good.
well done.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you for a part 2 very soon.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks,
Thank
Jay.
you. Well done.
Thanks, G.
You fucking gone. See ya.